Hey, it's a possibility my balls will fall off.
You should try meditation.
Put it in a bag.
Appreciation for bone art.
Stop describing your balls.
I like you. Welcome to RollQ, where super nerds with questionable accents tell a great story. I'm your GM Q. We saved you a dice. We saved you a roll. So grab your butter and let's break bread. Honestly, I've been thinking about the 25-word recap. Okay, here we go. Pitched battle. Hags fireballed. Heartstone found. To Ethereal plane to get Stella tomorrow. Cormac and Oksana domesticate. Gummer, Sam, stroll. Fake criminals good. Baron bad. Sam and Gummer stroll around Valaki, saying hello to various passersby and making house calls. Cormac training his stone familiar. Oksana eagerly watching and interested in how this familiar can be tamed. So, as lunchtime approaches, the afternoon is yours.
Well, we were heading back to the inn to see them.
All right.
I have holy oil in my hand.
Is it still glowing?
I don't
Should be.
know. Is it still glowing?
It will glow for about an hour, I believe. I can dismiss it. You could simply put it in a bag and cover it up, I suppose. But
I just want to walk around and carry it like this. It's
mean,
beautiful.
broad daylight has a sort of relative meaning in Barovia, it seems. So
Okay, let's go find the others. Wait, is he coming with us?
well, that's what I was going to ask. Do you think I should, as much as the glowing oil flask is reasonable to carry about, even with greater confidence that he is under control, I'm not sure that, and in fact greater, I suppose, leeway from the people of this town at this point, I'm not sure having him walk about with us is the smartest idea.
Okay, that's fine.
Perhaps when the shadows go long or that sort of thing, we can have him with us more often than we have in the past, but for now, and have him depart to his demi-plane or wherever they go. I can't remember offhand.
So, meeting in the common room? Meeting in the room?
It depends on who gets where first, I think.
So the two of you have just entered the common room. What are the two of you doing upstairs, people?
Are we the upstairs people?
Are you rubbing shoulders with the commoners? Or are you remaining aloof?
I don't know.
If they're not downstairs, Gummer continues his trudging up the stairs to the room.
And we
You hear
him.
Gummer, you hear the footsteps of upstairs trudging. It's Gummer, and he walks in, and he looks at you.
Sam comes in right behind. We went strolling
Strolling? Where?
about.
And yet as you return, it seems the strolling has turned to trudging. What have we done to offend thee?
Not so much you as the stairs.
Fair enough. I appreciate you finding something to do while I summoned Urvanthus. It was successful, but we saw fit to dismiss him for the moment, as it is daytime in town. But what shall we do with the rest of our time now?
I had a couple of questions for Van Richten, but I can set them aside if other people have stuff to do.
Well, questions do seem to be the order of the day. I know it's perhaps a bit repetitive of me, but finding out as much as we can might be the best use of the limited time we have before tomorrow. I know I'm not keen to miss the chance to help Victor and Stella.
Agreed.
I want to visit the apothecary again. So I mean, we've already been together. Like, I'm fine with going by myself. But I can also go and hear what you guys have to say or ask. But that was one thing I wanted to do.
We could stop at the apothecary on the way to Van Richten.
We
With
could.
this much time, no point in trying to
Unless you wish privacy, do you need to attend to the apothecary for personal reasons.
Um,
You do not need to answer. I understand people are delicate about their privacy.
I literally just did not know. I mean, it is personal, but I don't know if it is like top secret. Like, I had a moment of thinking, you know. You could come if you want. I just want to like see what they have in stock, but I can also meet up with you.
We will all go together.
Okay. So we will go. DM, we are going to the apothecary together.
Okay. All right. You wander. Doesn't take you long. Probably about a couple of minutes, and you now stand in front of the apothecary shop.
Oksana walks inside.
Looking up from Bunsen and beaker set as things bubble and snort. Wearing very big Coke bottle glasses, Nando, the half-orc, kind of goes, "Hey, it's you. How's your friend with the fangs? It all work out for you?"
Yes, everything is fine. We are good.
See, I told you didn't really need to worry about it. A lot of times it's really nothing.
Yes. Well, it's more than nothing. It is something, but
All right.
it's not we're screwed, like you say. I mean, I'm not screwed. I mean, my friend.
Not here, you don't. I got stuff for every screwedness. We're gonna fix you right up.
Well, speaking of fixing up, and Oksana's gonna take out the glowing holy oil bottle, and Lando.
It's Nando. Nando.
Mondo?
Lando is my cousin. He's a smith.
Wait, Nando?
Nando, that's right.
This is a special elixir that I use, and it is almost gone. And I was wondering if you could provide more that I could purchase.
Well, it's empty now, so if you tell me what goes in it when it's full, I can definitely let you know for sure whether or not I can do that.
Okay. Oksana's gonna lean forward. It is holy oil.
Holy oil. Yeah, I could probably do that. He reaches out to try to take it from you.
No,
give it right back.
No. This one is mine, but here, and she's gonna open the thing and like take her finger and like scoop. Don't even stop. And kind of like.
I gotta say, when you said, speaking of fixing up, I wasn't really thinking like this at all. But now that you're doing, it's really
Here.
hard not to look.
You couldn't take it from my finger.
He'll get like a little petri dish and a little stick. Yeah, we're gonna do that there. We don't want it to get looks at it. Would you say this is holy oil?
Yes, it is hoily. It is hoily. Holy
You call
oil.
it that. You call it that for short. That's one less syllable. Okay, let's see. What if he leans over and he'll pull out a bottle, and on it says holy water. So I got this, and he'll get this one that says oil, and he'll go. So I know it might look a little pedestrian, but this should work like holy water. But also, if you hit something with holy water and then with fire, it should stick on them to burn. Fire water. Holy oil. Fire water. Holy oil, fire water. I could have a business card that says that. Anyway, I think this is going to work just fine. So the holy water, is it's oil and water, so you can always tell how much you have of each. So that's something too.
Are we sure this is certified like holy? Just want to make sure I'm not pretty like good with the deities and things like this.
After the tea I gave you and how good it must be, I'm really surprised to have you question my bona fides.
Well, I'm sorry, Nando. Like,
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Sam is like looking at one of those giant round beakers and seeing how it curves the reflection of his face. He's just enchanted by it right now. Ooh.
17.
17. It's probably holy. It probably is holy water. You feel like you trust him. Whether or not the oil would work to light on fire, you are unsure if he actually believes that or not. But the holy water is holy water. Right from Father Lucian himself.
Well, I don't have any other like choices here, so what do you want in return?
Well, the holy water by itself is about 25 gold. The oil, easier to come by. 30 gold, I give it to you for it.
This is a lot.
It's 5 more than 25, which is what it always is anyway.
That's more than I want to pay for this. Like, I gave you the idea. I gave you the recipe basically by giving you the substance itself. So really, we are kind of like co-partners or like partners, like co-owners of this. So
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
hey, why is it
As you try to,
disadvantage?
because you're taking advantage of a lowly shopkeeper. That's why.
I am not. I am
This is
a
living.
business supporter.
Nando and Lando have worked really hard to get here.
16.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll give this whole thing to you for 20, but I expect you to send more people in here to get this. And I'm going to charge them 30. So don't tell them I gave it to you for 20. Deal?
No. And she just hands him 25. And she turns around and says,
I'm so confused. What was all the dickering for if you're going to pay me anyway?
well, I just had a thought that, like, I did not want to owe you something. So, this my friend did. And it was kind of smart. I mean, it was really smart, but
Okay. Well, I've got 25 gold. That's pretty smart. So, yeah, I'm good if you are.
just, and she turns around and walks out.
Here you go.
Come on,
You
Sam.
now have a bottle of holy oil that definitely works like holy water and possibly works like a fired burning substance, perhaps.
So I still have my,
You do.
and then another one.
Yeah, and the one you have that's glowing is empty, and this one is now full.
Okay, guys, I am good. Where to?
All right. Nando's done.
Van Richten or somewhere else? Cormac, did you have other ideas about where we might look for answers?
Only back to either of the collections of books to which we've been privy of late, but we've looked at them somewhat thoroughly already, so if there are other sources, talking to people, Van Richten, for instance, and so on, I think that's fine to start with that.
Okay. Let's stroll.
We'll call your jaunt to and from Nando's 2 o'clock. We'll say it's 2:30 as you roll into the Vistani camp. You remember that Van Richten's cart is on the other far side of the hill. So you could wrap around the hill or you could go up and over. Depends on how many horse puckies you want to dodge.
What was Luvash's brother's name?
Arrigal. Arrigal was his name.
Is he around?
You can go up and check.
Yeah, just briefly. Stop in, say hi.
As you ask the first Vistani you see, where's Arrigal? He'll point. And you'll see Arrigal is up underneath one of the wagons, seeming to repair something that's underneath. His feet are sticking out.
Gummer will walk over. Doesn't want to bother him. Arrigal, if you have a minute, don't want to interrupt, but just had a quick question.
He'll slide out. Well, you've already interrupted, but I like you. What can I do for you? He'll stand, start to wipe off his hands.
I just, after all the unpleasantness, I was wondering if anybody had tried to talk to you about anything. Anyone of a certain station, maybe.
If I think I understand what you're meaning, I've not as of yet done that. It usually is Usually is 2 or 3 days after full moon.
All right. Just after the last attempt did not go well, I wanted to make sure that whoever was interested in your niece has some eyes on him, that's all.
As far as I know, it should be perfectly safe. I never do the meetings here. I go into the woods. Hopefully, for no one can see me is the idea. But as I swore to you before, I would rather be ripped apart in pieces than.
Believe you. I'm wondering if their interest has abated or not. That's all.
I've not heard anything. So maybe their interest has abated on this, or maybe Strahd has found what he's looking for somewhere else.
I hope so. Good luck with the card.
Thank you. I'm good. No luck needed. He'll go underneath, start going back at it again. So there's Vistani, sort of all around. It looks like they're getting ready to go somewhere. Not all the wagons, but some of the wagons seem like they're being prepped.
Gummer will head to Van Richten's.
All right.
If
As
nobody
you move
else
down
is
the
doing
hill,
That's fine.
as you move down the hill, Van Richten is actually outside his wagon, and you can see his back wagon door is open. He's kind of leaned into it. You can see waist and pants are on the ground, but he's sort of leaned into this wagon doing something. As you get closer, you can hear what sounds like a metallic rattle on the inside.
Everything all right?
Oh, this isn't my favorite botany getters. Yeah, everything will be. You can look in here if you like.
Sam walks
look in
over
and
and peers in.
You look in, and what you see are a pretty large and thick set of manacles, both up here and down here. Looks like to hold something certainly human. He's like, so, thanks to you at the full moon, these ought to be able to hold our friend there after we give him the Wolfsbane draft. Wolfsbane helps a lot, but at the same time, you don't want to sort of, rest on your laurels. So the Wolfsbane will make him nice and comfortable, but this is also necessary. But I'm happy to take care of him.
That's good. I had a question for you. Who's
Sure.
Esmeralda Davenir?
Why do you want to know?
When we went to the tower where you had taken Arabelle, there was a wagon outside, and at first I thought maybe it was yours. But we looked and it said the name Esmeralda Davenir on it.
Esmeralda was, she was a student of mine years ago. In fact, he'll pull out his necklace, his anti-scrying necklace. He said, the one of these that I gave to Arabella was actually Esmeralda's in the beginning. We did not part on the best of terms. I wanted to go and do something, and she wanted to come with me, and I told her no. And she threw this other one at me. I saved it first. Figured I'd need it for something. I gave it to Arabella. Esmeralda's smart, fierce, stubborn as a mule. And she doesn't listen. At least she didn't listen to me. Not by the end.
Like looking in a mirror.
All right. I taught her well, let's put it that way. I've no idea where she is now, though. Hearing she... I haven't seen her since I've been here. Last time I saw her was not in Barovia at all, so...
Did she
The wagon was not at the tower when I was there, so that's news to me.
But she had the wagon when you knew her.
Oh, yes, sure. Vistani's always have a wagon. You can take the Vistani out of Barovia, but you can't take the wagon out of Vistani, if you know what I mean. I don't think I said that right, but I'm old and I've been hitting the head a lot, so... A little grace, I hope.
What did you go do that she didn't want to do? That you had falling out? It's so my business.
Well, the Vistani, as you know, can come and go through the mists, and so can I. I can't teach you to do it, I'm afraid. I'd have done it right away. So we were out there, and I felt the call to come. I came here to kill Strahd, that's why I came. Felt like the last thing I had left to do, and if I perished in the deed, then I did. Esmeralda wanted to come with me, and I didn't want to put her in danger for an old man's vengeance. So I told her not to go, and she said she's going to go anyway, and so I snuck out. That's the last I saw of her.
Wait,
But as I told her as she said she was going anyway, she threw the necklace at me and she says, now you'll have to go since I'm not going to be protected anymore.
you said something about how you like felt the call and then you stopped yourself.
I've been hunting monsters a long time. Barovia's a place where I've got a lot of, I guess we call them ghosts. A lot of ghosts in Barovia.
Sam
Memories
starts
I know.
looking around.
Being here is painful, but I thought perhaps, I don't know, maybe a little closure before I'm dead. And I don't think we'd argue that Strahd von Zarovich is not good at coming.
We will not argue. He has it coming.
I don't think I could have taken him, not anymore. Maybe once. I don't think I could have done it now.
Because of your age and disability.
Yeah. No point in not calling it what it's not. I'm probably fast enough to take any of you, but too slow for a vampire. I certainly couldn't take all four of you at once. Not anymore.
Perhaps you can help us prepare to eliminate this darkness of the land.
I'm happy to give you all my knowledge. As fate happens, though, I normally work alone. And now, of course, I've got little Arabelle to look after. Once in my life, there was a child and I didn't look after them. And I'll never make that mistake again. You can bend my ear anytime. I'll tell you everything I know anytime you like. You seem a good sort. But if you'd ask me to march with you to the castle, well, that'd be a hard no.
What do you know about the Knights of the Silver Dragon?
Oh. Well, I know they hang around on bridges a lot.
Yes,
they have
that is
this,
where we have found them.
So I think they have this manor. I think it's west of here. No, it's not that far, actually. They're very old. One of the groups that's almost before Strahd was even here, and one of the many groups that Strahd basically killed all of them. They consider themselves the last line of defense against something. But I noticed they're dead, and whatever it was they were defending still seems safe. So I think they were an honorable sort, but like many honorable sorts, they fell apart from the inside. Had some disagreements about what was right and wrong, and good and bad. So I hear.
Did they disagree on? How were they able to be deceived as to what is right? They should have followed the Morning Lord's way.
Well, they were following their dragon, Arginvus, but then he vanished. Without that, they just became a group of men without really a rudder. The strongest one, the best fighter, became the leader, but you've all been around enough to know it's not always the best person to lead. In terms of right and wrong and deceit, I don't know as it's that simple. You and I might not agree on right and wrong. Doesn't mean either of us is right or wrong.
What the Morning Lord directs us to do is what is right.
Right, I get you, but sort of. Let's say the Morning Lord directs me to do something that we're not all sure of is the right thing. Is it still him that's telling me?
In this example, you have said it is.
Well, would your Morning Lord then tell me to do something bad? Do we have different Morning Lords?
I believe there is only one Morning Lord.
You may be right. But I find the Morning Lord's voice hard to hear.
You should try meditation.
All right, I'll give it a try. I'm not crisscrossing applesauce anymore. My days of that are over, but maybe I can find a comfortable position. I gotta watch this fella chained up for a couple of days. That sounds like a good time to meditate. Only a few noises to be distracting.
Speaking of,
Concentrate on the light within you. It will grow and glow. It will show you the way.
I'll certainly wear me glasses. Smart boy, you're gonna say something, I think.
well, far be it from me to speak over the wisdom of the Morning Lord. But speaking of finding positions, you sounded as if you know the precise location of that manor that the knights are connected with.
Precise? No. You've probably been around here long enough to know there's really only two main roads in this whole place. The road you came in on goes through Barovia, goes through the big gate, and then goes up to the little gate, and you're onto a T intersection there. And then if you go east, you go to Castle Ravenloft. You've not been that way. And if you go west, it takes you here. Well, if you continue west across the Luna River Bridge, you'll notice there's little pathways headed off of there. Mostly go south, although there's one hunting trail that goes north, sort of circles around back to my tower. Not my tower, anyway. I imagine if you follow one of those paths off the main road, I think you'll probably find it. As to which exact path and how far you have to go, well, that I'm not sure. I wouldn't bother asking the bridge fellas for directions. They don't know where anything is anymore.
They don't even know their own names.
Aye.
That's quite helpful. It's the best. It's the most specific we've had so far. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Sure. I mean, you might be screwed if you go there. It's probably pretty dangerous, but I
Why
don't want
is
to
it?
thank me yet.
When you say it is dangerous, what hazard should we expect?
Well, knights that are meaner than the ones you've met, one that's stronger than all the rest, a place where a dragon used to live and doesn't anymore, probably a bunch of haunted shit.
Hmm.
You know, pretty standard fare for Barovia, but those knights on the bridge look fairly formidable. I'm not sure I'd want to fight the guy who can beat them all.
We are hoping to enlist them in the fight against Strahd.
Well, I think you might have some trouble there.
Some say they are moving already. Trouble.
I've heard of this Sir Godfrey. Every time I pass on the bridge, they tell me to go there after they ask if I'm with Strahd, and I'm not, and they say to go there. But, you know, you ever notice Godfrey Gwillem never comes out to find us? I think that ought to tell you something. Maybe he wants to help, but why doesn't he just leave? Why doesn't he come and find us?
Well, they can't leave their bridges. Maybe he can't leave where he is.
Maybe he can't. So far, every knight of the Order of the Silver Dragon we've met or thought of can't go anywhere. So I'm not sure what evidence there might be that they're mounting something. Which does not make the trip not worth it. I'm sure they got all kinds of cool relics and stuff there. Maybe some advice they could give.
Well, it does seem that there are any number of fairly powerful people in this place who have not yet acted but seem to be somewhat catalyzed by our presence. So perhaps things are changing.
I'd say you've definitely brought a bit of hope. I hope that works out for you.
If it helps any, putting the dangers in stark comparison, we're actually looking to find this manor in order to find another place that's even more dangerous. So Something known as the
that
Amber
just
Temple.
that sounds like it. Sorry, what'd you say?
Thought you might have some familiarity with that term as well, the Amber Temple.
You want to find that?
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility my balls will fall off in the shower, but I'm not looking forward to it. I don't think I'd want to find that place.
You're
You
do
gonna
not
be-
think-
Please stop.
I'll tell you straight.
Can't.
I was brave enough to walk into Strahd's tomb alone. You wouldn't get me in that temple on a bet.
Well, perhaps whatever advantages might be gained from going to the Amber Temple would make walking into Strahd's castle while he's awake possible and safe and more destined for success. But more importantly, it seems that whatever is bound up there may no longer be bound. So it may be an inevitability.
More good news. Well,
It's not my first stop, if that helps.
It does. Just don't go there until you have to. If you can avoid going there and still help these people and kill that bastard, do it that way. But if it's the only way is the only way, isn't it?
It hasn't been done successfully before now, so wild ideas are on the table.
That's fair. What else can I do you for?
You can stop describing your balls for one.
You know, the only person I have to talk to is Arrigal, and I don't, you can imagine I don't, but, and you fellas, and begging your pardon, my lady, but, I mean, I'm too old to, not...
Mince words.
All right, I'll stop.
Oksana is literally green with ugh.
And she's someone who tried earlier on in the campaign to bite the finger off of a dead guy.
Yeah, but we're not talking about balls, like old man balls.
Speaking of old men, I've something to give you. Don't worry, it comes from up here. He'll hand you a necklace that's got a little skull on the bottom. He's like, this is what I use to ask Jan some questions. Hopefully I'll not be around very many dead people, but you might be. I'd like to loan you this.
What is
Alone,
it?
mind. Well, that'll let you talk to dead people.
Ooh. I will
Not, all the time. Doesn't have unlimited power, but...
So there's 4 charges. Starts with 4. 1 charge lets you cast Gentle Repose. 2 charges let you cast Speak with Dead. At dawn, you roll a d4 to see how many charges you get back. If you use all 4 charges in a day and you end a day with 0, you roll the d20 and you don't want to get a 1.
Cormac kind of sort of leans over just to Oksana and says, Oksana, it's a bit of a strange thought, but one would never have thought until this item came into our possession that your particular art form might involve self-portraiture. But if you spoke to the dead about how they might wish to be positioned, that could be a new level entirely.
This is so cool. And yes,
Your patron in your head will say,
Oh, yes, consent, so important. So important.
yes, in her head, he is really smart. I like him a lot. Like, give him credit. This was something I did not think of.
Man, if this helps us move some bodies around, and he can have all the credit he wants.
I like it. I love the idea. Thank you.
Do the dead often have much to share?
They do. One thing people don't know is they think this sort of like what's a spell where you make them tell the truth?
The zone of truth.
Aye, right. The dead can totally lie. You should know that. They may not have all the same reasons for it, and especially if you'll find that if you just killed the dead guy that you're asking. I mean, Jan told me what I needed to know, but just be careful.
Oksana like reaches out. Can I take it? I will hang on to it for you.
Oksana, as you look at it closer, it looks like it's actually carved out of some kind of bone. It's kind of brown, though, in color. And it's not just a skull, it's a skull holding a scroll in its teeth. So beneath the teeth, it's got like a little scroll hanging down like that.
Ooh, what is this scroll thing it is holding?
I think it's a metaphor about the dead telling your story.
Oh. Right. Should I put it on? Is it a necklace? Is that what?
It's a necklace. I mean, you can use it without putting it on, but I always wear it just because I don't have to worry about having it or not.
But there's no like curse or anything like would she know if there was anything weird?
Make an Arcana check.
11.
11. He's made it this far. Seems like he's had it for a while. In terms of it being a cursed object, it definitely could be, but although this is cool and powerful, in your line of work, objects that are cursed are generally even more powerful than this.
Is it cute?
To Oksana, probably. Well, okay. It would have been cute to old Oksana 2 months ago, Oksana. Enlightened Oksana now, I'm not for sure.
Well, she doesn't want to roll around in people's blood anymore, but she has a good appreciation for bone art. I mean, come on now.
I would say if one is into macabre and occult looking cool stuff, then yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty cool.
She puts it on.
Pretty cool looking.
I love it. You like it?
Anyways, so,
he looks at Arena.
how are you doing, young lady?
Right.
I'm doing just fine, old man. Why are you looking at me like that?
Yes, why
I
are
was
you
just-
looking at her like that?
I was just wondering if you'd figured out what the mark does for you.
Well, we've been in a lot of fights and nothing's attacked me. In the last one looked right at me and ran away.
I see you figured it out. Every creature in this place will smell that and smell Strahd on you, and they'll leave you alone. Except, of course, the ones that hate Strahd. Them's you might want to be extra careful of. Not very many, but you may meet a monster here and again who'll smell that and want to come after you for it rather than not. I think you'll know the difference pretty quickly.
They kind of look at all of you so that you all kind of know that. Like,
I
It'll keep
will
her safe.
defend her.
That's good. This
How
one's
will
good. He's
we
a good
know
defender,
these
I can tell.
monsters?
I don't think you'll know. I think you'll know when one of them starts running after Arena. I'm not sure you'll know any faster than that, although, I mean, it is certainly possible you'll meet something that will tell you right out that it hates Strahd. It's not much of a survival technique, but maybe it won't be something that's alive.
Hmm. You mean if we speak using the necklace? I see. There are many wheels moving here.
Why, I'm not sure those wheels are on the same wagon, but this'll be one thing. But I sort of meant like a. Well, I don't know. What if one of them fellas on the bridge turned out to be a fan of Strahd? They're not. At least I don't think so. If they are, they're playing the awfully, awfully long game. Or
They
it's
do
just
not
for.
seem to be.
Or it's just for instance, them being undead and whatnot. It's just sort of a theoretical example, really.
Perhaps you can help me understand the nature of their curse. Undeath is a blasphemy to the Morning Lord, yet these serve against the darkness. I do not know how to reconcile this, what is the word, paradox.
Well, I'm just thinking out loud here, but what if you were a knight, Sam? The Knight of the Order of the Silver Dragon, and you're killed in a battle with Strahd. But what if the Morning Lord decided you're not done yet? What if he decided he still needs you? I imagine that I tend to think of gods as fairly practical. It's all well and good to say that, oh, these are an abomination most of the time. But every once in a while, I mean, even Lathander might need a good zombie every once in a while, right? Not a lot. And I'll tell you this, and I do know this from living a long time. Lathander wants your devotion, sure. But he wants your mind to be your own.
Yes, liberty of the soul and mind is of paramount importance to the Morning Lord.
Well, that being the case, if you find yourself thinking differently from what you've learned, well, that's Morning Lord's will too, isn't it?
Sam stops and cocks his head, and then he performs a very organic gesture that he has picked up from somewhere, but no one has seen before. And he takes his hand up to the top of his bald head and just kind of rubs it thoughtfully. And it
Van
makes
Richten will look at you guys and kind of point.
those, like gravel sounds, like the
Yeah, I was gonna
stones
say, does it sound
scraping
like
against
two
the,
rocks rubbing together?
you know, as he's contemplating. Clearly, has a lot to think about here.
I've seen a construct or two. There's never been anything this interesting ever. You're really something, Sam.
Thank you.
He'll look to Oksana and he'll say,
How's the aura farming going for you?
Can't believe you just said that.
What? What do you mean?
Yes. I not heard this term before. It is going okay. I do have a question though.
Sure.
What do you know about this? Like, not like the practice, but well, I guess part of the practice. Like, could I learn how to take out specific parts of an aura? Do you know?
I've no idea. If you're a bloodsucker, I don't know as you'd be able to drink only bad or good blood. It doesn't mean the metaphor is the same, though. Can you see, like when you look at them, can you see the difference between the good and the bad?
Well, I don't think anything is inherently good or bad, but difference. Yes, I see differences. Mainly
And if you can
different
see
shades
them,
of colors.
if you can see them and you're consuming them with your eyes open, I don't see why it'd be impossible to do it.
I guess I'm not sure, and like, I'm not sure how it enters the system, like, how does it
Well,
become part of me?
as the player who chose to consume psychic auras, I would say this is a you choice.
It is better than blood.
Agreed.
I mean, there's much
It's
more
much more
hugging,
interesting.
so-
It's much more interesting.
I don't know. I don't have any. Okay, I will think on this. I will ponder lots.
We'll get her a special straw.
And that other fell in your head.
Oh yeah.
How's that going?
This little man. He's still there.
Still doing what he says then?
I'm trying to change him. Like I'm trying to have him, better things.
Well, hope springs eternal. Just watch yourself. Be careful.
She's gonna think to herself, like herself, not him. I hope he didn't hear that.
There is no sound.
What does Van Richten's aura look like if she turns it on?
What a great question. So it seems to be a pretty steady kind of gray silver. But imagine an aura that actually has lightning in it. Every once in a while, a huge streak of any sort of bright color seems to race across it and almost burst.
Does it look
It's
like
go ahead.
Does it look like appetizing, I guess? Or does it look like like too spicy?
Make an insight check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. I'm not going to answer this with an actual taste metaphor, but I'll say it like this. Generally, he seems to have mastered his trauma, his demons. But when they pop out, they're huge. So he keeps it under wraps as best he can, enough to function. But his trauma is very deep. His anger is very strong. And that's what those bursts are. It's like shaking a Coke can and keeping it shut, and every once in a while it just has to pop off a little bit.
Well, just so you know, your aura is like magnificent and very, very dynamic.
Oh, yeah. That's two surprises in one sentence. All right. I'll take it, I guess.
Thanks for letting me borrow the necklace.
Stone wizard, mud fella, anything I can answer for you?
Well, this is sort of, I don't know whether I'm asking this in or out of character. Have I ever asked you about the symbol on the tower and on this ring? Because I can't remember.
I don't imagine you have, no. I probably don't know as much as you'd like me to. I know that symbol, I know it stands for a certain wizard. The wizard's named Kazan. I think he predates Strahd, actually. I want to say he's here with old Barovia. You might want to ask Casimir about that if you're stopping by. But, awful powerful wizard. Imagine having enough magic to make an anti-magic field, but still do magic inside it.
Yes,
That
it was
said-
surprising.
Did you happen to notice the crib?
Yes.
We did, right? Yeah.
Crib in a place like that. Man's always dangerous with not to lose. And, like other folks who think we might need to go to the Amber Temple to get the power that we need, all the spells in Kazan's book and all the magic in his tower couldn't save him from whatever fate he met.
You are sure he went to the Amber Temple?
Sure? No. But I listen to my gut. It's got me a long way. My gut says, if you go to that Amber Temple, you'll find him if you live long enough once you get inside. I've been wrong before.
I cannot judge. I do not have a gut.
I think you might. Not
You
literally.
mean
Not to digest
metaphorically?
anything. But I'd say your instincts feel pretty honed to me. Especially for a man made of a bloody rock.
I will consider this. It is an interesting metaphor.
I'm full of those.
Sam rubs his head a little again.
You're gonna make a mark. All right then. It's my nap time again. So if there's nothing else, I'm gonna go. I like to sleep under my wagon. So I'd go ahead and do that. But one thing I'll ask of you, if and you don't mind, if Esmeralda is here, I'll not ask you to tell her to leave enough alone. There's no point. But if you have a chance to watch over her and keep her a little bit safer than her hot head might keep herself, I'd be much obliged. She's a good kid. Too good for me.
We will exercise compassion.
All right, then. Bye.
He'll just kneel down, sort of crawl under this wagon very slowly, every bit of his age.
Shall
Here
we
you are.
stop? Shall we stop by a smith and have them begin a project for Irina?
Oh, yes, I'd like that.
Yes. And then, didn't someone want to go to the library?
So I'd call this about 3 p.m. Take you about 15 to
Which-
20 minutes to walk back to town.
Which piece in that conversation did someone tell? Yeah, told us to go ask Casimir instead. And I can't remember which thing it was.
Wait,
The
what?
ring.
Oh, wait, but maybe it was just the ring.
The-
yeah.
About the wizard.
the fate of Kazan. Fate of Kazan.
Right. I don't know if we should stop and see if the Dark Elf is available while we're here.
Saves
While
us a
we
trip.
are here,
Wander by their little hovel zone and see what the scene is.
Sam looks for a door to knock on.
You eventually will sort of find your way, and one of the dusk elves that's sort of watching will say, Casimir's just here.
Thank you.
You knock on the door and you hear the voice from the inside. Do they come?
Sam will open the door for his friends.
Thank you.
You enter this room again, still well outfitted, very nice on the inside, if a bit crowded with all of you in there. Warming his hands by the fire, you see Casimir with his long dark hair. Without turning, he'll say, I bid you welcome. I bid you welcome back. What have you been up to since you've been gone?
Well, quite a bit, in fact. Of late, dispatching a coven of hags at a windmill, the other side of town.
Huh. Nice to hear that hags are gone. I did not know them well, but that's good that I did not know them well. And I'm happy that now I shall not have to. At least not for a very long time.
I fear we still know too little about this land to ask you the pointed questions you might well be able to answer, but we have a name now, this symbol we have seen, and we may have spoken about before, but Kazan, is the wizard maybe who is associated with it, and we wondered if you knew much about his fate.
Kazan was great wizard. It is said that he actually helped Count Strahd von Zarovich design Castle Ravenloft, that much of its magic is down to him. It's also said that he never quite managed to master the powerful magic that he sought. I believe he is buried in the castle, deep in the catacombs. Whether he burned himself out, or whether he just fell on the wrong side of Strahd von Zarovich on the wrong day. But he was very powerful. This is all rumor, of course. Sometimes the old rumors that stick are more likely to be correct. Not always.
Van Richten has it in mind that he might have met his fate at a place known as the Amber Temple. That's not also Strahd's castle, is it?
No. No, the Amber Temple is not Strahd's castle. Not at all.
Place of some danger, we take it, but one whose location we might nevertheless need to seek out.
I'm afraid I don't know where it is. So, wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Cover doesn't believe him.
Yeah.
Make an insight check.
No,
Yeah,
it's
can
okay.
I?
He still doesn't believe him.
May I attempt an insight check as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Or
doing the talking, but I'm not much of an insider, so I don't think it's like Cormac's nature. to even put-
17. Yes, 17.
Sam, you think that he does know where it is. You think that he is not being truthful with you.
Sam reaches out a hand with a pointing finger, not quite an aggressive, but almost a J'accuse energy going on, and says, "You must answer again. Before the morning, Lord, I charge you."
Well, I'll not lie again. I will not tell you where it is. The danger there is too great, and I know better than most.
What is the point then?
The point of the Amber Temple is to hold that which is much more dangerous than Strahd von Zarovich himself. And again, Strahd von Zarovich committed genocide on my people, and I fear him less than what is in that temple.
Did we ask how Strahd felt about the Amber Temple? Or did we
I
ask?
think so. You've not asked. You can.
So so you say it is very dangerous and the worst thing imaginable. Do you think that Strahd has well, strong feelings about it one way or another.
Didn't know how he feels now. Like many who are powerful, Strahd von Zarovich once attempted to use the Amber Temple to make himself more powerful. Whether or not he learned much of what he can do now there, I do not know. But it is a place of many secrets, a place of great power. It would not surprise me if some of what Strahd is and what he can do was learned there.
If we were to go there, which we are not, I'm just hypothetically saying, would, like, he know that we were there? Like, are there, like, alarm bells or something?
I do not think that he would. Strahd has spies everywhere, but if he were omniscient, he would not need them. The Amber Temple is very well defended of its own. I think it might be a place where even Strahd himself might not. Well, he may dare to go, but he may not think that you will.
We won't. I won't.
I
What
understand
is
it.
in the temple?
Well, might I hazard a guess first so that our interlocutor here might know or come to understand that there's something changing? What I mean to say is,
You might hazard a guess.
would I be near any mark at all if I would say that some of the power contained therein relates to a being of shadow and flame and some sort of hound creature?
When Cormac says that, can Sam tell if Cormac feels afraid of it at all?
You would make an insight check, and Joe will decide the DC and decide what you know. It's fine with me. If Joe is actively trying to hide it, Joe can roll that too.
No, I'm not trying to hide anything.
How about a 15?
It's well above my passive deception, even if I were trying to deceive. I would say that in the moment, he's caught up in the intellectual angle of, oh, wait a second, I need to say this first so that because then he'll know that maybe I know something, right? Where if we let him describe what's there and then go, oh, I've heard of that, he might just think these guys are more just bullshitters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I want to make sure that he knows that maybe we know something, so he takes us seriously, and whatever warning we might have.
As you ask the question, Cormac, his eyes, and he's not really hiding it either, his eyes will move to your knapsack. The being you describe is but one of many. Whatever power he has, it is exponential to what the rest of that tower holds.
I see. I thought perhaps you would want to know that in what seemed like much more than a dream, a being of that nature spoke to me, came to me, and offered, or rather even announced that its power was already mine. And there seemed to be some reason from other research I'd done that there may be leakage of the containment of the Amber Temple. The Amber itself could be porous.
I would say that the Amber is almost certainly porous. I would say that if you were offered power by this being, it will come at great cost.
I do not seek it. I merely suggest that there may come a time when you will think better of hiding its location from us if necessity calls for us to go there.
Perhaps. When and if that day comes, I will accompany you myself. I would not send anyone there without a guide, especially one who has been there. I've been to the Amber Temple, I've been inside. I do not know all that is buried there, but I know much. If it is our fate to go there, I will walk alongside you to do so. Let us hope that it is not our fate.
Of course.
He'll look down at his hand, which seems a little more healed. Had you asked me about my hand, I would have told you I was out for a hike, and an ice shelf collapsed, and myself beneath it, and this is a frostbite. That would have been a half-truth. The rest of it would have been that I was myself on my way alone to the Amber Town. And the mountain itself defended it against me. I have unfinished business there.
What are you seeking?
Redemption.
You may find redemption by walking the Morning Lord's path. I will assist you. What is it you have sinned?
Again, I'll not lie. I am not going to tell you.
But then I cannot assist you.
So that is how it shall be.
That is sad.
It is a sadness that I carry with me willingly. Perhaps I do not wish it gone.
I do not understand. If it is painful, why do you not wish it gone?
Sometimes the sadness is all you have left. You had a mentor before you came here, yes?
Yes.
Does thinking of this mentor make you sad?
I feel his loss keenly.
Would you have me take away that so you did not feel his loss at all?
His loss is a reminder of all he imparted unto me, of his legacy, of my duty. If I were to forget this loss, I may forget myself. No, I would not have it gone.
Well, Rev Samal, it sounds to me as if you understand entirely.
I see.
He'll look at you, Oksana. You smell different than the last time you were here.
What?
Is all well? You have a smell of death that you did not the last time you were here.
She has been traumatized by a vampire spawn. We must be delicate when speaking of it.
Steps closer to you very slowly, attempting to be as non-threatening as possible, but he does sort of look at you.
This is...
Oh. Well, it has been a very long time since I have seen you.
What?
I apologize. It is not you I am speaking with. It is that which controls you, ails you, though you might
No
not
one
find it an ailment.
controls me. What?
I'm happy to hear it. It has been a long time since I have seen a vampire who is not a vampire.
Okay. Like,
It is interesting. When you go 1,500 years between seeing things, it is interesting.
I'm very confused. Is this like you're talking to me or my kind or my thoughts?
I am speaking directly to you, knowing that you have become a Dhampir. Is that correct?
I think so, yes. This is my understanding. Okay, I understand now. I was very confused. I have lots of going on in my brain. And people. One person.
I would love to tell you that gets better with age.
Seems to get worse.
It does. And yet, while your life becomes harder, in some ways becomes simpler. Things that were important fall away. It does, however, make those things which do not fall away very powerful.
But, like, Oksana's gonna hesitate before saying this because I think she knows the answer, sort of, but you see something, and I am wondering if you can change your. It sounds like, I don't know, convoluted. Change your fate, like, or change. I have a little man in my head, and I want to get him out.
If I understand you correctly, it is not something that is easy to change, but you always have your fate in your hands. You seem quite clever. You and your friends all seem quite brave. While I would not do this thing recklessly, you are not necessarily bound to this. It does not have to be the end. In terms of what exactly you could do about it, this falls even outside my scope of knowledge.
Well, who do I ask? Where do I go? I want to.
His eyes look up. I would ask the stars.
The stars? I mean, the stars?
Yes. The stars, the sun, the moon. All these things are greater than us. They are greater than the man in your head as well. I do not think you will find a spell. I do not think you will find a contract or a way to outsmart an almost immortal being who has written contract after contract after contract. But perhaps there is something, well, there is definitely something more powerful than he. Many things. One of them may help you.
Well, like, how will I know what to do? Do I just say to the stars, like, this seems like, I don't know, never mind.
My answer to you is going to be utterly unhelpful, but you began to ask, will you know? You will. When? If I knew that, a great many things in my life would have been different. And many who are gone would be alive.
During this time, can she see what his aura is like?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a Big Mac.
His aura doesn't move. His aura is as though his aura has like a glass ball around it. His aura is like a still picture. It does not move at all.
Interesting. Your aura. It does not move. Why?
I have mastered it.
So if I were to try to take your aura, would it be... Would I be able to do that?
If I let you.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to fight you. I just was wondering because it's not like typical of what I've seen in the 5 minutes I have been doing this.
My aura was not always this way. I have a lot of practice.
Okay, well, maybe I will come back and we will talk about auras another time.
If you live long enough and you insist on this, Amber Temple, we may have a long time on the road to chat. But you are not ready for this yet. He looks at his hand. I'm not ready for this yet. What is your next move? Where do you go from here?
Oksana looks to Gummer.
Can't imagine why. We saved the spirit of a little girl.
This sounds worthy. If the spirits of little girls are not worth saving, there is no reason for any of us to remain here. I wish you good luck.
We'll take it.
He'll sort of
We-
sit and turn his hands back towards the fire. I hope you will forgive my rudeness. I find the fire helps this hand to heal.
May I
do
see
want
your
to
hand
heal.
for a moment?
You may.
He'll give you a hand, and for the first time, Sam, you see a little smile.
Sam takes his hand and regards the wound. What does it look like particularly?
His hand and fingers are almost black. It sort
Like
of turns a
frostbitten?
blue. It is frostbite. It is literally miserably horrible frostbite. It does look slightly better than the last time you were here.
I would like to lay hands on the wound, and I am wondering if the lay on hands purify poison ability, where you expend 5 hit points from the pool to remove the poisoned condition, could be the basis of a similar ability to remove the frostbitten condition.
I don't know that I'd call frostbite poison.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a shot in the dark, but
You can certainly try to heal it.
I will try to heal it. I will focus 5 hit points worth of divine energy through my hand and into his.
As you push the divine energy through, you can almost feel the cold, and you can almost feel the pain, but you do feel it ameliorate slightly. And he does smile and he says, "Thank you. This has
The
helped someone,
blessings of the Morning Lord are upon you.
And on you. Good luck in your travels." He'll turn away and start warming his hand.
We'll take our break here.
and you guys can figure out where to next. I would say it's probably about 3:30 p.m. 4. Does that seem about right?
Blacksmith, then we rest, then we save the girl. Right?
Yeehaw! Yeehaw!
Maybe some reading.
Yeah.
Big
All right.
damn heroes.
Hey, I want to go to the library.
We'll take
Oh,
5.
library. We can do library too. So that was the first time we've heard Oksana say she wants to get rid of the little man in her head, right?
I thought so.
That's what I thought.
Don't worry, we don't have enough problems in Barovia.
High pressure.
Just checking.
No, I saw you guys' reactions. It was kind of funny. I was like, oh, because I've known that. So I was like,
No,
oh,
we didn't know that. We didn't
Sorry.
know that.
I don't think she did.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Alrighty then. You have left Casimir's hovel, the nicest hovel on Earth, not on Earth, and you are now. The late afternoon is now yours.
I believe we are walking towards the smith.
All right. will
Irina,
take
you
you
need
just-
some, don't you?
Oh yes, if we have some of that raw silver, I think I certainly. The crossbows came in handy. I'd certainly like to have this done, if I may.
It is a necessity. We will have it done.
Wonderful.
Oksana,
Yes.
you want to get rid of the man in your head? I thought you were in a compact with him.
I am. And I do. I don't know what to do about it, actually. What would you do?
I would ask my friends for help. I will help you, Oksana, if you need it.
It's really nice, Sam.
That was genuinely surprising. I was like, I would ask the Morning Lord.
I thought you were gonna say
Do we know anything about your
Sam is
research into
developing.
religious stuff, Oksana? I don't think I at least knew that you were some of what you were looking into there last time at the library. So maybe it was the first time.
It's definitely not discussed.
Yeah, okay, I didn't think so.
No, because the first time she was looking for fear, and then I don't remember. Was that when I got? I don't know.
You were looking to learn about fear and how to fix it, and your research eventually led you to the best way to fix it was through faith.
Right. Wait, but didn't she and Sam have a conversation about it, or just faith in
Do not know.
general?
You place it in front of yourself and you cut through it.
Right. No, for real. Yeah.
Okay, so you arrive at the smith, and the half orc there comes over to you. He says, "Hey, you got me right before I close. What can I do for you?"
Are you related to Nando?
Yeah, Nando's my brother. I'm Lando.
I do not see the resemblance.
Then you do not see. But hey, honestly, that Nando's, he's an ugly sucker. So I'm glad you don't see the resemblance. But I work steel. What steel can I work for you?
The lady has a piece that she wishes to be modified.
Irina will pull it out and she'll say, "This rapier, I would like silvered. We do have the silver to give you, so I would just need the labor." Lando will look at it and say, it won't take much silver for a blade this thin. I'm probably do it for you for 25 gold. I'll work tonight and have it for you in the morning. She will, absolutely. I'll come by in the morning then and you'll have it? Yeah, it won't take me very long. I know you guys are, and I haven't gotten a chance to help you out at all. And if this gives you guys a little help, then it's certainly worth a little extra time.
That is very civic-minded of you.
Thanks. I'm the smart one.
You
Anything
don't have
else?
anything. Well, you don't have anything more potent than just the silvering, do you?
I do have some talent with enchantment. It is very expensive and it takes a long time. I also don't know if I could do it. I mean, I wouldn't charge you if I screwed it up, but this I can do. That I have done, but I'd say my success rate's probably about, I don't know, 1 in 5.
Can you silver arrows?
Sure. Many as you want. 10 gold for a quiver.
I will purchase 2.
It'll all be just credit on cash on delivery. You can bring me the gold tomorrow when they're done. I'll have it all ready for you. I'm gonna go ahead and get to work. We'll see you guys in the morning then.
Thank you.
And sort of turn and head back towards his tools and forge and whatnot.
The blessings of the Morning Lord be upon you.
And you, buddy, and you. The late afternoon to early evening is yours. I'm ready. Whatever you want.
I would like to go to the library or something to
Okay.
that effect.
The Smith is part way towards the manor, if that's the library you're thinking about.
Is there
It
another?
is the biggest library. The Wachters have a library too.
Oh, no.
It's not as good as this one, though.
I want the good one.
As they are
All right.
walking, Gummer would kind of sidle up to Carmog. I'm figuring I wasn't the only one who caught the fact that old Kazan was supposedly helping with the plans for the castle.
Yes.
There was a lot of that tower we didn't look at.
Well, that's true. I wonder. His magics do seem fall outside the normal bounds, so we couldn't be sure that anything we've sort of overcome there before would be just as it was, or anything. But perhaps it would be safe enough to return.
In days ahead.
Perhaps at least before what I don't know will be our first or last or only visit to Castle Ravenloft for this forcible invitation we've been extended. The thing that perplexes me the most, I think, I would not expect to know what's going on here or so much about this place. Those things are normal, as much as going to a place that no one's ever heard of can be normal, but it's the timeline that I find vexing. I can't tell, even if we take it upon ourselves to actually try to make some change here. Sometimes it seems as though it's racing at us, and this invitation in a not so long hence is some sort of major confrontation. And other times it feels as though we need to be here for decades before we've achieved what we would need to do anything good here. And I really can't tell the difference, or which is true.
I know you didn't get a chance to talk to him, but mattered to Milvaj and Henrik.
Oh, that no, very. That's of course good point. Good. No, you're right. But I mean, these larger things, the things. Well, I don't mean to discount it, but somehow I don't think that was what Madame Eva's readings portended. Seems
But we
bigger.
got time. Hopefully.
How much is it going to take? How much time are we planning for? I guess is. Well, in any event.
Gummer looks around at the streets, the houses, the people who are, I would hope, moving more freely and more happily around the town.
Make an insight check. As he's doing that, Cormac, since you brought up timeline, I'd like you to make a history check for me also.
Sure.
Would Oksana and or Am have heard that conversation?
Summer wasn't trying to be quiet. He just didn't know if they would care about the same stuff.
I'm brainy. I care about brainy things.
Gummer, what was that roll?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. People do seem to step a little lighter. It's still gray. It's still Barovia, but there was that acute panic, a sort of almost franticness that people had almost all the time when Isaac Strasny could be around the corner, and that seems to be better. History check?
15.
15. You'd have to go through your notes to know, but kind of feels like the timeline itself seems to jump around. You've heard that Strahd has been asleep for 800 years, and then you heard he awoke just 100 years ago. It feels like the times you've heard that things are happening there does not seem to be an agreed upon exact timeline here.
Yeah.
Things have seemed to bounce around and be inconsistent at times.
Maybe uncertainty in the timing is just the nature of the place. It seems that's the way things perhaps have been for a long while here.
Well, when every day looks the same, and every day feels the same.
Perhaps if there's any truth to Madame Eva's predictions, or if we are in fact important in some way, this seems a bit silly, but perhaps the timing forms itself around us.
You must have faith, Cormac. The Morning Lord has placed us in these paths. I feel it within me. There is a purpose to our being here. A will that directs our arms.
He's not wrong. The land here is sick. There's no sun. You've been offered power by... I don't even want to know what.
I don't know, but yes, that itself pushes me ever towards the Morning Lord and anything he might do to keep me away from it.
And I know that you've only known her as long as you've known us, but Oksana here, even considering getting rid of that voice in her head. We're all here for a reason.
Oksana, you heading to the library, you would be the first to arrive at the front door of the manor where the two acolytes stand.
Hello.
Are these the side-eye acolytes?
Greetings. Make a perception check.
26.
Yeah, it's the one on the right.
I think Gummer gives him a little salute as he walks inside.
It's that same kind of like, just little flash, but seems to be a person in there somewhere. So in you go, up the stairs, and you are now back in the library. You did not hear nor see the Baron
Or
as you
smell.
entered. Or smell the Baron.
All right, what are we looking for?
Well,
Well,
go ahead.
please. No, Oksana, please.
I mean, no, you go. This is your place.
Well, I must admit I was reluctant because I'm uncertain. So much of what I've tried to research here before I've had little luck with, and then some of those very things I feel we've already learned a bit about more recently from Van Richten and Kasimir. So I'm not sure what the priority should be at this point.
Well, if somebody wants to help me, I can't reach the high shelves. And I was going to
I
look
can
into
reach
Valenta.
them.
Thank you very much. I was going to look into Valenta and some of those other names she mentioned. Anastasia, and I forget what the third one was. But hopefully they're all lumped together.
Sam will help Gummer by reaching the high shelves, and while he's doing so, he's also keeping his eyes open for any works of Lathandrian religious scripture or theology or anything like that. Particularly like the equivalent of a book of Psalms.
Sure. How are we gonna do this? Gummer, go ahead and make an investigation roll with advantage since Sam is helping.
He will guide the absolute living shit out of it.
Remember, you guys have a bardic inspiration that you have to use before you go to sleep.
That's
Now's
true.
probably the time. That's a D8. Oksana, you can make an investigation check or a religion check if there is any difference. And you may also guide yourself if I...
That is a 19. And I use that bardic inspiration.
17.
17's not bad. Sam, religion? Cormac, as you're glancing around, let's have history be for you, I think.
16.
I will, as I usually get a charge back at morning on the ring, I will use that for advantage as well.
Unless I was given guidance. Was I given guidance by any
Yes,
chance?
I held you.
If it's two separate instances, then absolutely he has guidance.
Sure.
Just passing it around like candy.
Then that would make it a dirty 20.
With that bardic one, history would be a 22.
Okay. Oksana, now that you kind of know what you're looking for with religious stuff, you're able to hone in a little bit. The god which seemed most interesting to you when you were reading before was Seluna. One book in particular that seems to be mostly about her. Some in Barovia call her Bright Nidra. This book is not very literal. It's very mythical. They say that, she is the moon watching over the world as she moves across the sky. The lines behind it are tears from both joy and sorrow. There's a section about Seluna shining her light on broken things. It feels as though Lathander wants to bring the light to everyone. Seluna is more likely to accept you as you are, flaws and all. Neither is better nor worse, but it is different. You also read through this that it appears Seluna is capable of virtually any emotion that is human. She's not just one thing. She has joy and sadness. She's peaceful, but will be a badass when necessary. You also find, though, that she has what in the book they describe as an eternal enemy. She has a sister named Shar. Shar is the goddess of night and nothingness. It's described that they are in a state of war all the time. Seluna wins when the moon is full, and then it swings back the other way, and Shar wins when the moon is new. And it's literally just going back and forth and back and forth, neither giving an inch. You find one quote near the back of the book that says it is directly from Seluna. I'll put that quote in the chat, but it also says, "Let all on whom my light falls be welcome, if they desire to be so. As the silver moon waxes and wanes, so too does all life. Trust in my radiance and know that all love alive under my light shall know my blessing. Turn to the moon, and I will be your true guide." As you read those lines, Oksana, make a perception check for me.
23.
As you're closing this book, something pulls your attention to the open door of the library. You walk through and you look to the south, and there's a moonbeam coming in through the window. It touches the floor ever so slightly. It is something you would have seen in your previous life innumerable times. You have seen the moon once or twice while you've been in Barovia, but you don't recall it shining into any building that you've been in.
Oksana will walk into the light. She can.
As you walk into the light, the moon seems very big and very close. It is not completely full. That will be tomorrow, but it is very close. And it seems to not even be breaking through the clouds. it seems as though it is, rather than the clouds brushing over it, it seems as though it is pushing the clouds to the side.
While this is happening, she's going to really quickly try to get the little guy in her head's attention. Almost like, does he turn his attention to me? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it has not been. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
17.
17. He doesn't always, but this time when you think of him, you do hear,
Are we done reading? It is so boring.
I am not done reading
Why am I here?
because you are in my head, and my head is here. And she will turn around and walk back into the library and pick up that book and look for any references to stars or anything like that.
you hear in your head,
Wait a minute. You seem different. Why are you different?
Nothing has changed.
Don't get any ideas on me. People like to try to find God. Shit like that. Don't be getting those ideas on me.
Sam's just over there, slightly radiant.
No, I like science. She'll walk over to Cormac.
make a deception check.
Well, is it really deception?
Do you like science more than you like religion at this moment?
I don't know. I think if she
If you-
equates Cormac
if you
with
wi-
science, then
If
science.
you wish to call it persuasion, I have zero problem. Go
I
right
think Shannon needs to roll a deception check against herself.
ahead.
Bro, seriously.
Disadvantage.
Wait, what are my choices? What did you want me to roll?
Persuasion or deception. You can pick.
They're the same. I rolled persuasion.
All this.
27.
27.
All right then. Just mind your P's and Q's.
You feel it fade away. Sam. You find a couple books that have different prayers to Lathander. Some are familiar. One is the identical prayer that the Father Donovich said over the body of Kolyan in Dirovich when he was murdered in the village of Barovia. Some are ones you have been taught and known your whole life. There are a couple that are new. The ones that are new seem to be distinctly Barovian in the sense that there is some acknowledgement of the cloud cover and some acknowledgement that Lathander has to fight harder here than he does other places. They all certainly believe that he will shine through in the end. They're all very faithful. But there is, at least for the first time, you're reading like, whoever wrote this, like, lived here and understands what here is like. And so it is more difficult, but also in some ways more faithful. It requires a greater leap of faith when one has never seen the sun. And yet there is a book here that has all kinds of those things in it.
Well, that is fascinating and powerful to Sam. He will begin meticulously committing it to memory.
Good. Gummer, the names. You spend a lot of time looking for the name Valenta. There is no sign. There is a very clear entry about Anastasia. Have that right? Anastasia. Anastasia. Anastasia, you find her name in a noble family, although it does seem to be one where at some point that line sort of seems to go away. The years end on it. It was a family called Karilova, a Valachian family, in fact. The story is that she is the eldest daughter. You see a couple siblings listed underneath her, and those are all listed as married to someone. She is not listed as married to anyone, and there is, near the end of her name, a date of disappearance.
Bum, bum.
And then underneath a note which says, last seen with dark-skinned woman. What that means.
Never mind. What is the date of disappearance?
The date of the disappearance is around 750 Barovia times. Really only 50 years ago, but again, time schmime. The other name, which you find almost as you're giving up, but you do find the name Ludmilla. And as you're thumbing through, you're just, oh, geez, I'm never going to find this. It's a 200-year-old record of an orphanage. There are no last names in any of this list at all, but you do see the name Ludmilla. There's no notation at all other than this is a list of orphans. She is on that list.
Okay.
You do think to Valenta's word, and inference will tell you the skinny plaything must be Escher. But those would be, other than Valenta herself, a little tidbit at least of all the brides that have been mentioned. Cormac, you find yourself looking at the soldiers. It naturally takes you to books about war, books about battles. The Order of the Silver Dragon was defeated by the armies of Strahd. This seems to be pre-vampire Strahd. This is Strahd, a human conqueror, conquering in the name of his father and then for himself. Then there seems to be a couple hundred years later another battle where the Knights of the Silver Dragon are once again defeated by Strahd. It does not say for sure. It is hinted that the knights were already undead when the second battle took place, and that Strahd would have been a vampire by that time. The commander, whose name I think you actually have heard, the commander's name was Vladimir Horngard. It is said that he survived and that he pulled what troops he had left back into Argynvesholt. And that is the last record of him or they. Whoever this was did not even list the ones on the bridges.
Right.
And that, my fine folks, is the library. So we'll call it 7 p.m. Libraries take a bit.
I have an idea. I must see the smith. I will meet you back at the inn.
You want to go by yourself?
You may come with me if you wish.
I just wanted to look in on Victor quickly before we left the manor, if he's still up in his attic.
I can wait.
As you climb up into the attic, you see that the door is once again shut. And you can, without having to make any sort of roll, you can see that there is a glyph of warding currently on that door that seems to be active.
It is important to maintain relationships.
Well, I thought also if there was anything we could do to help between now and tomorrow evening, he could tell us. But Victor, are you in there?
Yeah. Hang on a second. It's as though someone is like unlatching all their, like one of those doors where they have to unlatch all the locks, and you do see the glyph kind of just gets traced away and slowly fades, and then Victor will open the door and say, guys, come in.
Sure. Didn't want to interrupt too much. I suppose we could have spoken through the ward, but
Well, it's all right. It's faster this way. Come in. You'll see he comes in, and there seems to be even more papers on the floor. And he seems to be sitting, by the time you walk in there, he's back down sitting cross-legged. And he's got book after book after book, like piles of them all around him. Tomorrow night will be the night. That we'd meet around 9.
how fare your preparations?
I feel ready. I haven't found the ley line yet. I haven't found the best spot. It's got to be here somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. It might be I could do the spell without it, but I would really not like to take the chance, so I want to try to figure out where this ley line might be.
This ley line, it is a manifestation of arcane energy or divine energy.
Arcane, I believe. I don't really do divine. No offense, Sam. I saw you fight. It definitely works for you. It just doesn't. I guess I don't understand it. Seems
Faith is a mystery to all.
certainly to me.
We
How are
have
you
a few
guys?
things. We're all right. We have a few things to keep us busy, but I just wanted to check while we were in the library downstairs, and I just wanted to see if there was anything that you would need us or want us to prepare, or perhaps I don't know that I'm up to it. Your skills are quite impressive, but perhaps I could help you with the research.
You know what you guys can help me with? I bet I know who knows where a ley line is. Wachter.
I was going to say your erstwhile mother-in-law, so to speak.
He looks at you, and he when he hears mother-in-law, I mean, he goes, "This is a pale man." He is now absolutely pumpkin. Like at hearing this, he's sort of like, I thought maybe you guys could ask her if she knows where one is. It's hard for me to. I got a lot here that I got left to do, so maybe you could
Of course.
ask her, and then if you find out, maybe you could send me a message. Maybe if you find out.
I will go ask her. Sam turns around and begins heading out the door into Lady Wachter's.
It's great. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, you don't have to come back. You just a message will be fine. I'll be here working. But thank you, guys.
Cute.
All right. If that's the best way we can help, that's what we'll do.
Yeah. That's definitely. If you could talk to her, you could just send me a message, though. You don't have to come back or anything. And we'll figure out exactly where to meet, and I'll be ready, and it'll be great. I hope.
Even if we do not return ourselves, the message might come in the form of someone knocking at your door. I don't actually have that magic.
Oh well, I'll call you then. You don't have to call me. I'll call you. That's fine. I haven't used much of my power today. I'd be able to call you. If I called in like an hour, maybe an hour, is it like maybe it's good. Maybe 2 hours. What do you think? When should I call? When do you want me to call?
Let's say 2.
Okay, 2 hours it is. Yeah. He like clambers over, and he's got this. Underneath a big pile of papers, he pulls out this hourglass. He's like, "This is an hour, so once, and then flip it again, and then it'll be 2 hours, and I'll call you then." Thanks, guys.
Is
We'll leave you
Cormac
to it.
looking at him like, that's me? Cracks me up. Because you guys are on either side of my screen. It's really funny.
Yeah, maybe like as we come out of there, kind of like straightening myself to normal. Like, oh no, I'm a cool adventurer guy. I'm not like that.
All right, we are now down outside the manor. The smith is on the way to Lady Wachter's house, if that is.
Oh, yes,
we'd like to do.
Sam is efficient. He will stop by the smith en route.
You don't see the smith; it would be closed, but you do hear behind where it's not visible. There is the clang of
I go-
hammer on metal.
I go around to find him.
He kind of looks up. Hey, hi. What's
Forgive me
going
for
on?
startling you.
A little bit, yeah. What's up?
I am sorry. I had an idea for a commission. I do not know if it would be possible. Can you silver my fists?
That's cool.
Missy? He actually wants to look at your hand and see. Well, he'll start to like jab at you really hard. Does that hurt?
I understand that sensation is occurring, but I do not associate it with pain.
Good. I would say yes. The problem we run into is you got to stay a long time and you got to sit really still. I mean, I'll do it, but I mean, this could put you out of commission a whole day, just about. Unless you have a way of taking those off somehow, which I wouldn't put it past you, but
Please say
I
yes.
don't know.
I cannot remove them. I will consult with my companions on the timeline we are facing and return when it is appropriate.
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, I saw the amount of raw silver you have. I've plenty left over after both the arrows and there's plenty. I honestly, I don't even think I'd charge you because I would really, really like to do it and see what happens.
It would be my honor.
Yeah, no, yeah, as long as you like sitting for the world's weirdest portrait. But yeah, man, I mean, I'll be here. It's fine. Yeah.
Thank
Sure.
you. I will return.
Okay.
I must
I'll,
now speak to Lady Wachter.
Oh, well, you enjoy that. Clang, clang, clang.
Sam goes back towards Lady Wachter's.
You arrive at Lady Wachter's 8 p.m. The two acolytes are there at the door.
I must speak with your lady.
We will inquire as to whether she is receiving visitors. One goes inside. How does this day find you in amongst the mists?
As good as any.
That is gratifying to hear.
About your day.
My day is just wonderful. I thank you very much for asking.
I have learned a new psalm today. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Sam begins to recite one of the Barovian Lithandrian odes. And thus he
As
shall
Sam is-
watch over me always.
As Sam is
Forever.
concerned,
Amen.
nice. As Sam is concerned with his recitation, the rest of you go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Yeah,
13.
12.
Oh, 8.
I'm bored shitless.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to read the guy's face. I would say 13 and a 12. He may possibly lose interest in the middle himself. When the darkness is being described and about how the clouds and the dark are all there, he seems interested in that. But once it becomes Faith in the Morning Lord, the glaze comes back, and it's just a thank you for that psalm. It was an excellent turn of phrase. The words were quite well put together.
It was my pleasure to share it. I hope it has given you something to consider.
He does not answer that at all. The door opens and the other one comes out. Lady Wachter would be happy to receive you in the parlor.
That's wonderful, thank you. Gummer will go inside.
In you go, up to the parlor. Lady Wachter is there, about halfway through at least one glass of brandy. She'll say, "There we are. Hello. Tomorrow's a full moon. We have an update. When, where, what are we doing?"
Eggs are back. No, I'm just kidding. We needed to ask you about ley lines.
There's never been anything less funny. What ley lines? What about them?
Get to know me.
We
I can
must
be
find
much-
one.
Oh, well, there's one under the house.
Of
Right
course
there,
there is.
Like beneath where you are now, just underneath my cellar. There's a very powerful ley line, the most powerful in town. It is
You have-
why my ancestors chose to build here, I believe.
It is as if the Morning Lord has guided our steps through revealed will.
Perhaps, yes. Perhaps it's just the second largest building, but perhaps the Morning Lord has brought us here all together.
Well, you asked when and where. When seems to be about 9 p.m., and the where perhaps now is right here. Victor thinks the greatest chance of success will be if you can draw upon the strongest ley line possible.
She will pause for a moment, and then she will look at Irina. And she will say to Irina, but to all of you as well, she'll say, "I will be going with you to get my little girl. However, I cannot leave the burgomaster's post unattended. The hags were a single evening. There is no telling how time runs in the ethereal plane. We could be gone what feels like an hour, and a month may pass here. There is only one of you with the understanding, leadership, and gravitas necessary to rule Vallaki in my absence, which could be permanent. Irina Kolyana, I would ask you to govern Vallaki in my absence. Besides being brave and trustworthy, you innately understand how to care for a people, to see the forest, not just the trees. If you would please do me this honor, allow me to go and get Stella without feeling that I've betrayed my home." She'll look to you and she'll say, "Yes, of course I will. Of course. I'd want someone to do it for me if it was my little girl. So yes, I will be happy to govern Vallaki in your stead. Hopefully it'll be for about an hour and then you'll be back. I would not relish governing a place permanently, but I will if I must." She'll look to the rest of you and say, would that be all right? I would not ask Lady Wachter to not travel.
Sure.
It's certainly fine with me. I worry what might happen here if indeed we are gone long enough, for instance, to pass the time of Strahd's invitation.
We cannot know. We can know that the little girl needs us, and it's only one night, right? This we know.
Lady Wachter will say, I will, a bit more complicated. I will pen a letter to be delivered to Strahd before that evening, should we not return. My family has been loyal to him forever, and as I say, he's not a madman. If he does not feel slighted by your absence and knows that you are doing something and helping a family that he feels at least believes is loyal to him, then I do not know, but it feels like this is a prudent thing to do, just in case.
All right, then. That sounds wise.
He is all the things they say, of course, but he's strangely honest. I've never even heard a story of him lying to anyone ever, whatever that's worth.
I believe I detect admiration in your voice.
Make an insight check.
Oh, look at me writing checks that my body can't cash. 5.
5. There may be some admiration. You may detect that. Ezra teaches us to bend as the willow and not to break. Strahd has allowed us to bend so long as we have. At least in the time that I have been here, Strahd has not asked me to do anything horrible. Honestly, the business with Richten last night was probably the most horrible thing that's happened. While I would say it's disconcerting, I can hope it's not part of a pattern. Either way, this letter must be written, and our trip to the Ethereal plane must be made.
Agreed.
Right then, at 9 p.m., if you go around the outside of the, just around the back of the house, there is an entrance to the cellar there. I think that would be the best place to do this, perhaps not out in the wide open. The cellar is a useful place. But if there's nothing else, I'll meet you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You guys walk out.
Will we have time for me to get my hands embellished with silver?
He seemed to indicate that it could take the better part of most of a day. Whether that means 8 hours or 22, this we are not sure. He probably doesn't know either.
Let's plan on one hand. No reason you have to do both at the same time.
Smart.
I wonder if what we'll face, if we have any idea of what it might be, is something for which this is necessary. Certainly if we might face werewolves later, that seems prudent. We've certainly learned of that, and the hags themselves. But
What other creatures are vulnerable to silver to our knowledge, to my knowledge as a professional hunter of the unnatural and profane?
I will take a moment to look this up so as to give you an accurate answer.
Gummer would also ask Carmog, who had read the book on ethereal things, what
Right.
sorts of things might be attacking them in the night tomorrow.
Yeah, seems like a good thing to spend some time looking at either the rest of this evening or tomorrow, regardless. If I still have access to the book, I'm not sure whether I do.
Cormac, if they're asking you the question about silver, are we asking Cormac the question about silver and the question about who we might fight? Is Cormac the person being asked those questions?
I'm asking him about the second one. I don't know about.
Sam thought he might know some of the stuff on his own.
His own background.
Sam, go ahead and make for a paladin of Lathander, this would be a religion check. Cormac, I'll have you make an arcana check.
Sure.
Is that bardic inspiration still hanging around?
You haven't used it.
No, I have used it. Damn it. This is not good. I'm going to use a heroic inspiration because this is a deep and profound question of my faith, and I want to actually
The
Make
deep
me
and
roll.
profound question of should I cover my hands in molten silver?
This is such a guy thing.
It's the same roll. It's the same roll.
Oh no.
9.
9. Werewolves for sure. You've read different accounts. Vampires, not vampires, all sorts of undead, perhaps. Even with a 9, you'd know it can't hurt. There's nobody you're going to punch with silver that's going to heal them. So there's not really a downside to
There's no
it, other than
downside to it. That's what I
the
thought.
time that it takes. Yeah.
Until you send us against a silver golem or something.
Well, I wasn't going to, but now I have to.
Luke! Ixnay! Ixnay!
Cormac, the roll.
19.
19. Specters, poltergeist, things to be expected. I believe what you would read, and I don't remember if Victor said it, but we'll say he's in the book. It's in the book anyway. There are these creatures called gallows speakers. A gallows speaker happens when a spirit of some kind that has violently died is able to find other spirits that have violently died also. An army captain around his men. Where there's lots of death and anger in one spot, a sort of large and extra formidable skeleton or specter can form with the intellect of one, but the energy and anger of many. When thinking back on what is Stella hiding from, what might have sundered Stella's soul from her body, what, given what you've read in the genealogy book, and given your ponderings about Madame Eva, what form might a traitor to an ancient house take? And if the stories about Leo Delisny are to be believed, he and his men were all killed, thus creating a large number of people. And Lady Lavina was always scared that he would return. So Leo Delisnia, being some sort of gallows speaker, coming after any Wachter he smells, that feels right. Not good, but right.
Well, at first I had thought that it was the hags themselves in dreams or something that had been threatening Stella in the other plane, but the more I read in the book, it seems there are other entities shared, the name of them, and that's the stuff that was just described, and it could be Stella specifically, by virtue of being virtue of vice perhaps, of being a Wachter that draws their ire, and bringing the lady with us could only inflame that, but I can't imagine stopping her from joining us.
We've handled undead.
In terms of our concerns about fighting the things we're likely to find, I don't know whether or not silvering and so forth is useful, but if some of them are incorporeal, I wouldn't be surprised if they are difficult to attack directly.
What was that roll, Cormac, for the book?
19.
19. I think with a 19, you would also maybe not know, but the book may theorize that a specter may be incorporeal in the material plane. In the ethereal plane, they might not be. They might be corporeal in that place. And other things that are solid here might be incorporeal.
Sure.
What the fuck is
rules-
this word, you guys? I'm sorry.
The rules are... Corporeal's like has a body, and incorporeal is like
Takes
like
up
a ghost you
physical
can
material
reach
for the
through or
I'm
whatever.
literally writing down new words every day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, share that thought as well.
It's as good as information as I was hoping for.
I hesitate to say it, but I suspect she will do it on her own, perhaps, if Lady Wachter is as earnest in her love for Stella as she professes. She could be herself a distraction, if all we're doing is trying to buy time. Honestly, I think this place probably needs her, so I hope she makes it back with us. I hope we all do, but...
Dinner at the Blue Water is the standard fare. You find yourselves upstairs, for once not dog-tired from battle, but perhaps your brains are dog-tired from all of the information you have poured into it today. Which is a whole hell of a lot.
Sam doesn't need his special towel.
Just
Not
to sort of
yet.
buff where he's been grinding his own head in thought.
Get rid of the dust.
Yeah.
Sam, you haven't graced us with a song in some time.
It would be my pleasure. Sam produces his flute. And he thinks of a traditional Lathandrian hymn melody. And as he begins playing it, he tries to improvise in some Barovian flavor.
Go ahead and make a performance check, Sam. Take advantage with your Barovian flavor.
Ooh. Oh, a natural 20.
Yay!
Okay.
That's
with
what I
a
like.
natural 20, how do I want to do this? With a natural 20, I would like Gummer, Cormac, and Oksana to all have some sort of memory of hearing this song before. And I'd like you to tell me what that memory is. Where did it happen? How did you feel? How old were you? This is played so well, and it's the perfect song to sort of trigger you, not in a bad way necessarily, but
So for Cormac, it is one of only 2 people on the old estate there that were properly caring towards him was the cook, a woman, and it's just a quick, probably didn't even ever realize it was this tune until now, memory of her just sort of humming it while she's working in the kitchen. Maybe while he's there getting some extras that were not normally delivered to his room.
It was an impromptu mission from Istaval. A giant lizard had crawled out of a cave near Daggerford, and it was maybe our second or third little mission as a group. We dispatched it, but we were far enough away from town that trying to make the trek back didn't seem worth it. So as the sun started to set, right by a pond, Gummer was stripping the skin from the lizard to make the pants that he's currently wearing. And they were too long. And so he was walking around trying to figure out how to hem them. And Sam played this song, and it was maybe the most that Gummer can remember laughing in a long time.
So it was on one of her jobs where she was tasked to take care of a performer. And in the moment that she hears Sam, the singer was singing not the lyrics, but the tune of this melody to a huge crowd. And Oksana's about 12, and she's laying over the top of what would be sort of like rafters, laying in wait. And just like right before, she has to kill her. And she remembers what she did with the body. And all will be revealed at another time, guys.
As Sam finishes playing, you all dream absolutely nothing. And you have a peaceful and dreamless sleep. And you will wake up as refreshed and resolved as you have been in some time. And we will talk about that morning next week.
I don't get exhaustion, right?
We'll talk about that next week.
There's only 6 minutes, so
No, if you don't retroactively make something happen, then yes, you'll have a point of exhaustion. But next week you can say, but before bed, then it's totally cool.
all right.
Totally cool. Yeah. Maybe you can spend the week trying to convince people to let you.
How tasty are the auras on like little house spiders in the corners of the inn room?
I'm gonna have to convince someone.
The acolytes, I'm telling you.
Stop.
They don't have a thing going on in their heads. They wouldn't even notice.
It does not look good.
Unfrosted vanilla cake. Every one of them. Every one of them. A cake that needs sugar.
Oh man.
All right. Great to see you all. Armed with our knowledge, we will jump into some action next week.
Ta-da.
Yay.
Good night, everyone.
All right. Bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Night.